If you want to learn which Batman will win in a fight, be sure to watch the video. Today I will talk about which Batman will win in a fight, and I'm referring to his most popular live-action iterations: Keaton, Bale, Affleck, and Pattinson. Please bear in mind that for Keaton's case, I will consider Batman Forever and Batman and Robin as canon to this Batman, because that's more material that I can work with, and also because that makes it easier because I don't have to include George Clooney and Val Kilmer. For this match, I will be considering strength, speed, agility, endurance, intelligence, gadgets, and experience. Also, this by no means is saying which one is the best Batman or the best actor or who has the best movies. This is just an analysis of which one is the strongest compared to the other Batman. So no hard feelings if your favorite Batman doesn't win. Be sure to stay until the end if you want to know which Batman will win in a fight. But before starting the video, give me a like, be sure to click the subscribe button and leave in the comments which Batman you think will win. Thank you so much for watching, and with that out of the way, let's begin! Let's see how strong everyone is in chronological order, and let's try to find an answer to who is the strongest. It is really hard to find an answer to how strong Keaton's Batman really is, but we can do some stuff to find an answer. First, there is something really characteristic about Keaton's Batman, and that is that every time that we are introduced to this Batman, almost always he falls from really high and lands on his feet. Granted, the cape is helping him to decrease the speed, but still you need iron legs to be able to walk away like you just didn't fall from 50 feet. But that is not all. In the movie Batman Forever, there is a scene where Robin is falling really high and Batman not only catches him mid-fall, but he's able to stop the fall by throwing a string from one of his gadgets like Spider-Man and stop the fall. This should be more than enough to tear both of his arms. The only explanation to this is that he has superhuman strength. Now, moving to Bale, he has a few scenes where we can see how strong he is. When Ra's al Ghul is about to fall and Bruce catches him before, we can see that he is giving his all, and we know that because how loud he screams. And combat-wise, he's impressive for most humans, but if we compare him with the other Batman, he's not that impressive. So it seems that at the moment, he's not even as strong as Keaton's Batman. Affleck's Batman is an absolute beast. It is almost a waste of time talking about it because his feats speak for themselves. This dude is able to throw hands with Superman, defeat a dozen of thugs, and throw parademons like they were ragdolls. Same parademons that can pulverize humans if they want. And let me remind you that this Batman is still a human. Also, this Batman wasn't even afraid to go in hand to hand against Steppenwolf. Although this is just an exaggeration, but it seems that their strength point is going to him. But still, we have to see how strong Pattinson is. Robert's Batman is again pretty strong for the average human, but he's more on Bale's level. And that makes sense because these two are more realistic interpretations of Batman. But even then, one has to be stronger than the other to make this fair. So I have to say that Pattinson's Batman is stronger than Bale's. Why? If you watch the fights that Pattinson has and compare it to the fights that Bale has, it takes less hits to Pattinson to knock a thug out, and in Bale's case, it takes him more hits to knock someone out. To this you could use the argument that I'm not considering the thugs that each one is fighting, but again, if I do that, Bale is still losing. When Joker crashes the party that Bruce was hosting for Harvey Dent, the thugs that Batman fights in that scene are shorter than him, and honestly they don't look that strong, because the Joker is not the kind of guy that cares about the strength of his thugs. But in Pattinson's case, we can see that he is not only fighting thugs that are in better shape than the Joker thugs from the previous example, but also are taller than Pattinson. I think that is not exaggeration to say that Pattinson could have defeated Bane from The Dark Knight Rises in the first encounter. Considering this, we can say that Pattinson's Batman is an absolute beast, having in mind that he's supposed to be realistic. So Affleck wins with 3 points, Keaton with 2, Pattinson 1, and Bale is in 0 for the moment. Let's see how they do in the other categories. Starting with Keaton again, he's not really fast. Maybe I should rephrase that. There's not a singular scene in his movies show us that he is particularly fast. or faster than the other Batman. Bale is fast as hell and he's really quick taking action. We can see that in the scene where he manages to save all the hostages before fighting the Joker. He's able to neutralize everyone that represented a danger and save everyone that needed to be saved. Something that only someone like Batman can manage to do. Affleck again has superhuman speed. He's able to react to Doomsday laser beams and the attacks that the parademons shoot. He's able to react to Superman's attacks and fights average criminals with a speed that doesn't even give them time to react. Now, going with Pattinson, if you read the novelization of the Batman, it says that his training style is named Bruce Jitsu, and it was named like that by Alfred, but he explains that his fighting style combines different styles of martial arts that mainly focuses on speed, and the speed feels like an important point to this version of Batman, and he trains to gain more speed rather than strength. And this definitely shows with how fast he is able to move when he's fighting, and how fast he's able to think and strategize plans in a short period of time. I want to give the speed point to Pattinson, but I can't be biased. He's second in this case, really close to Affleck. Affleck gets 3 points again, Pattinson 2, Bale 1 and Keaton 0. Let's see how well they do in the next categories. Maybe the tables will turn. Now this is a point that I can be 100% sure that is going to Pattinson, but let's go in chronological order. Keaton is not really agile. His movements are really stiff. He can't even move his neck. Granted, this is a limitation because they didn't have the means to make better suits, but still, that doesn't change the fact that in the movie he's not nimble enough. Bale is really agile and he proves that in various occasions. But still, his fighting feels slow to say the least. Like, what were they thinking by making him attack with his elbows? Seriously, most of the time he's attacking by throwing his elbows around. Even if he's agile, this subtracts points from him. Now, Affleck is really nimble, being able to dodge attacks from Doomsday and hide in the shadows. But I can't shake the feeling that he's too shredded and that might be an obstacle for making more nimble poses. Not that he needs them, since he compensates that with his strength. Pattinson is the most agile Batman, being able to use the shadows in his favor, use the environment to his advantage, and move into smaller spaces in short periods of time, like when you get into the vents in the Batman Arkham games. So Pattinson gets 3 points, Affleck 2, Bale 1, and Keaton 0. Let's see how things turn out in the next categories. Now, this will be tricky, but again, let's go in you know what order. Keaton has a really strong endurance, being able to withstand an explosion of the Batwing while he was inside of it, and still being able to take down Joker's goons, and being able to walk away after Two-Face attacked him with a flamethrower. Bale's Batman is the one with the least endurance. He was taken down by a couple of dogs, and when he was stabbed by Talia, basically he was over. As you might already know, Affleck's Batman can withstand attacks from Superman and parademons. Also, he was able to withstand an explosion of the Batwing while also being inside of it. Also, he was stabbed as well, and unlike Bale, that wasn't even close to stop him. Pattinson has otherworldly endurance. He was shot multiple times and doesn't even flinch. He gets tased, a bomb explodes on his face, and he doesn't suffer severe injuries. Also, he survived from being shot with a shotgun. Now, even if I want to give the endurance point to Pattinson, you don't have to be the smartest person to realize that attacks from Superman are much worse than a bomb. Also, to anyone that might think that Keaton is stronger than Pattinson, this wouldn't be the case because Keaton was shot with a gun a few times and he was out, at least for a moment, and Pattinson can withstand multiple shots without being severely injured. So, 3 points to Affleck, 2 to Pattinson, 1 to Keaton, and 0 to Bale. Let's see if the tables turn at some point. Okay, just for this occasion I'll stop using that order because I feel like I can explain things better this way. Now, Going from the smartest to the not so smart, Bale is definitely the smartest Batman when it comes to detective work. He was able to recreate a fingerprint from a piece of wall by shooting another pieces of wall. He tweaked the autopilot from the Batwing in just a few minutes, or a few hours tops. Let's remember that the autopilot didn't work and he had just a couple of minutes to fix it. Pattinson is second to Bale, mostly because he doesn't have the same amount of experience as him, but even then he is closest to being the best detective, being able to solve all of the Riddler's puzzles. Keaton doesn't show his intelligence that much in the movies. We don't see much detective work. The smartest thing that we see him do is hacking the Penguin's microphone. And now Affleck is the least intelligent Batman, because of a simple reason, and you know it, Martha. He was so close to killing Superman and he stopped because of the most stupid reason. That talks really bad about his emotional intelligence. So 3 points to Bale, 2 to Pattinson, 1 to Keaton and 0 to Affleck. Keaton doesn't use much gadgets despite having some that the other Batmen don't have, like the Bat credit card. And we see him use a grappler-like gadget that is on his belt pretty often, but he doesn't even use batarangs. I can confidently say that Bale is the one that uses the most gadgets, not only batarangs, but he has different gadgets that he is able to use in different situations, like the radar that he uses that turns every phone into a camera, the device that lets him turn off the lights in hallways and other spaces, and also he has grenades. And let's not forget that he also has a device that allows him to call bats on command. What I mean by this is that he has the most diversity in gadgets that he can use in different situations. Affleck might have the War Machine and the Nightcrawler and all that, but I have to say, if this was a fight about mechas, that would be unfair because Pattinson will die within 5 seconds. And in the end, this will be a fight between Affleck and Bale. This is taking into account more a hand-to-hand combat with gadgets that Batman could carry with them. That said, Affleck doesn't use much gadgets in the movies other than the grappler and the batarangs. He uses a sniper once, but I don't think that counts as a gadget. Also, the armor that he uses to fight Superman will be useless against other Batman, because that armor makes him slower. There is a reason why he rescued Martha with his normal suit and not this armor. Also, I have to mention that this is the only Batman that uses a modulator to change his voice, although I don't think that will have much use against other Batman. And he has like sticky grenades that let him deactivate the weapons of his enemies. Pattinson uses a lot of gadgets in his movie, from the contact lenses that let him record everything to the grappler-like device that lets him walk on walls when he's going down. The grappler, although I'm hesitant to say that he has more gadgets than Affleck. So the points will be 3 to Bale, 2 to Affleck, 1 to Pattinson and 0 to Keaton. Let's go to the final category and see how things go. You might have a doubt by putting intelligence and experience on the list, and this might confuse people, but they are actually not the same. Intelligence is how smart you are, and experience is how much you know about what you're doing. As an example, you might be the smartest person in one area, but if you don't have the experience, people less intelligent than you will be better at the job because of experience alone. Experience gives you an edge over people in the same area as you even if they are smarter, because you might know a few tricks or some stuff that they don't. That said, who has the more experience in being Batman? Well, if you take into account the recent Flashpoint movie, without the controversy, obviously, Keaton's version of Batman will have over 30 years of experience, which is a lot compared to the other Batman. Affleck's Batman has over 20 years of experience, and we know that because of a dialogue that he has with Alfred. Bale's Batman has around 5 years of experience. He should have around 12, but he was inactive for around 7 years after the death of Harvey Dent. Pattinson only has a little more than a year of experience in being Batman. Even if we are generous and give him 2 years, he's in last place. So 3 points to Keaton, 2 to Affleck, 1 to Bale and 0 to Pattinson. Let's go to the final verdict of this fight. Obviously Affleck wins because his version of Batman was made in mind with the fact that he was going to fight Superman and other powerful beings. While Bale and Pattinson's version of Batman are more realistic, so it is natural that they are weaker in comparison. And Keaton's version of Batman is kinda sketchy, because it's the first version of Batman and hence was more experimental. In a fight, either Bale or Keaton will fall first, and in the end, everything will be decided in a fight between Pattinson and Affleck. If you think about it, it is impressive how far Pattinson made it, taking into account that he has only one movie, but that movie gave a lot away about his version of Batman. That's how you know that it is a really great movie. It is insane how much of a beast Pattinson is, even when you take into account that his version is realistic. But Affleck wins because of the previously mentioned reasons. And you can know which Batman will beat who with this graphic. But that's my opinion, leave yours in the comment section. Remember to give me a like and click the subscribe button. And with that out of the way, bye bye!